Hi folks, welcome back to Game Geeks. I'm your host Kurt Wiegel. Today's episode we're reviewing a lot of products all in the Witch Hunter The Invisible World line by Paradigm Concepts. This game supposes that you are a monster / witch hunter in 17th century America. The idea here is it's a very different 17th century where darkness is more real, where monsters are more real, the forces of Legion and Satan are everywhere, and it's your job to go around and fight them to keep people pure and America pure and to keep the monsters from having this giant party of blood and death and killing everyone around you. But it does have that very colonial America feel about it, which is pretty much where the first book takes you. The engine itself is really straightforward. It is a dice pool D10 system where you roll a big handful of dice based on attribute plus skill plus modifier. You roll them and you look for 7s or higher, which are really my favorite way of doing a dice pool because the whole matching things from ORE can get confusing for my simple little brain. And honestly, adding up that many dice like you see in D6 can really make my head hurt. So what this is it's a target number and you look for that or above. The concept is you play one of these witch hunters, and the witch hunters themselves are subdivided into different categories or castes, my words. Each has a unique approach with how you deal with the monsters in question. So some of these are like the Apostles of the New Dawn, which are more explorer-based and more into looking around. The Ascetics of the 10 Persecutions, who sort of are the martyrs of the group, and they like to interpose themselves and take trouble upon themselves so that others don't, so to save other people the problems. So what this does is it gives you a really interesting, different take on a horror magic with dark fantasy horror magic game that it's not the modern era like you see in the White Wolf books or in Dresden Files. It's very definitely a period piece in colonial America. Other products in this line include the Grand Tome of Adversaries, which is pretty much your standard bestiary, but along with here are the monsters, here are the stats, there's also how you can use them, or what they represent, or how they can interact with your game. There are also several adventures out there, including the Gates of Flame, Tide of Darkness, and the Blessed and the Damned, which is pretty much a player's guide. More options for your characters, more sorceress rights and abilities. Now, this game itself is about to get a new edition, I learned at Gen Con, but I wanted to go ahead and get this review in so you're aware of it and you can look for this new edition when it comes out. Witch Hunter, it's a really interesting, straightforward game. The engine gets the heck out of the way nicely, and it really lets you get into the mood and the setting and the horror of monster hunting in colonial America. Keep an eye out for either the first edition of this game or the new editions and new versions as they come out in the near future. For Game Geeks, I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Good day and good gaming.